With its picture-perfect scenery, good weather and affordable cost of living for international visitors,
This is what I spent working as a digital nomad in Cape Town.
Cape Town is attracting a growing community of remote workers or digital nomads. Aside from a tourist visa, the government's implemented a new visa program that allows them to stay for up to 90 days. Natalie Brooks is from the UK and runs her own business online. She's been working remotely from Cape Town for up to 6 months at a time.
There's lots of money that's coming in for tourism, but also in lots of countries where there's a high digital nomad presence, the locals are getting very frustrated by the impact that it's having, particularly on accommodation. So I think that it's about looking at it in a holistic perspective and making sure that the government is putting in the right steps to manage the influx.
While more than 1 million workers here benefit from the tourism, there are others who say the growing demand for accommodation is making housing for locals more expensive. Fahmida Jacobs is the third generation in her family living in this home in Bo-Kaap. She says the demand for housing in a prime location means higher property values, but with it comes unaffordable rates and taxes.
Some people cannot afford to stay in the Bo-Kaap anymore, so they started selling their houses and selling their properties.
The local civic association agrees the cost of living in central areas like this has increased.
And of course the investors that's coming into Bo-Kaap, we can see more and more people buying the properties up and hiring it out for short-term rentals. But there's a negative and there's a positive. The negative is it breaks up the community, and the other thing is it hype up the rental.
By the end of last year, there were more than 23,000 listings on short-term letting site Airbnb. But Airbnb says its research shows that short-term rentals have not reduced the availability of longer-term rentals in the city. The digital nomad visa is for people who earn more than $40,000 a year. City authorities say those people tend to look for accommodation in more upmarket areas like this on the Atlantic seaboard, rather than occupying homes in less affluent areas. Authorities say the lack of affordable accommodation is due to a building backlog. Last year, property prices in Cape Town rose by 30%. That's compared to 8% in the commercial hub Johannesburg. But visitors like Natalie say there has to be a balance. Would you come back?
100%.
While the growing number of visitors to Cape Town helps boost the economy, the drawback for some is an unaffordable city. Fahmida Miller, Al Jazeera, Cape Town, South Africa.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.